KINETIC Watts and Wolves, and it's an absolute honor to be presenting to you the legend of the DX. Let me take you back to India in the 70s. It was a different world. Homes were warm, radios played timeless melodies, and families gathered around on one TV for the evening news. Life was simple. But outside those homes, the roads told another story. Cities were growing, aspirations were growing, but mobility, it was struggling. It was struggling to keep up, and families were squeezed on one scooter, father in the front, mother behind, and children just squeezing wherever they could find space. It kind of tells us that two-wheelers was not for everyone. They were heavy, bulky, complicated. Starting them was not just, a simple push button. We had to kick, and it was a whole lot of workout. Sweat dripping down your face as you prayed that the engine would finally start. But even then, you had to fight with the clutches and gears at every signal. It demanded strength, it demanded skill. And that meant one thing: riding was not for everybody. And then came a company who dared to ask, why should mobility be so hard? Why should riding not be easy? Why can't it be effortless? Why can't freedom belong to everybody? And that company was KINETIC. Founded by the visionary who believed India deserved much more. Who we have with us, of course, Dr. Padma Shri Arun Firodia. It started with a powerful vision to make mobility a reality for every Indian. Not just for the ones who were strong, not just for the ones who were privileged, but for everyone who wanted freedom on two wheels. And hence, our story began with the iconic Luna, India's first moped, light, affordable, and built for everyone. Now suddenly, a farmer in a small village could reach to the market on time. A school teacher could ride without waiting for buses that never really arrived on time. Students, housewives, shopkeepers, they all could move on their own terms. And it paved way for something bigger. Because when we saw the impact that Luna had done in India, we knew that India was ready for another chapter. India was ready for its next revolution. And that revolution was none other than the KINETIC DX. It was the one that replaced struggle with simplicity. It replaced comfort. It replaced complexity with comfort. And it made two-wheeler for every man. That was the birth of the KINETIC DX. It entered a market where waiting for scooters could take up to 7 to 8 years, where loyalties were strong and choices were few. But the KINETIC DX broke the cycle because it made mobility effortless, it gave families convenience, it gave women confidence, and it gave India freedom without struggle and without compromise. Soon, it was no more just a two-wheeler. It became an emotion of millions of Indians. DX was their first ride. The first time a father brought home a scooter and all the neighbors joined to just come and take a look at that. The first time a young college student could ride to class. The first time a woman could simply go and ride a bike. And even today, decades later, people stop and say that KINETIC DX wasn't just a scooter. It was a story, it was a joy,